One last sprinkle of olive oil. And there it is, it's ready. But I don't think Julie will wait.
No,
Thinking
I
that
only
one
want a
quarter would be
quarter,
nice.
thank you.
Yeah,
Have you got some bread though to mop it up?
Not yet. Ciao and welcome. I have made eggplant or aubergine parmigiana on the channel before. Also I made a version using just courgette or zucchini. Today I'll do something different. I'll combine the two together, but as I'm already altering the structure of a traditional parmigiana, I have decided to do it completely different. So I will be marinating these, but also I'll be doing the sauce in a different way, and I'll be using some cheddar to give my dish a little bit of a kick at the end. And I will be dead honest at the end. I will let you know how it compares with the traditional parmigiana. I'll start with the aubergine. I'm looking for quite a few slices, so I'm cutting them very slim. These are approximately half a centimeter. Griddle, and as they are, without adding any oil, I will place them inside. I've put them on the hob on the maximum temperature, number 9, but as soon as they start steaming, I'll turn it down on medium-high, number 6, and I will leave them to just cook on their own without anything at all for a good 3 or 4 minutes, and then I'll turn them around. In the meantime, I'll prepare my sauce, so a little olive oil in a new saucepan, medium-sized clove of garlic. I'll give it a gentle crush and I'll add it to the saucepan. These are shallots. You can also use a red onion, but I'm looking for one which is not too big. Here, this is just the right size. And I'll chop this one in tiny little pieces and I'll add it to the garlic. Red pepper. And I'm removing all of this white stuff, which would be unpleasant, can be quite bitter, but also difficult to digest. But I'm never too worried about the seeds. I'm not sure if they make much difference, to be honest. And just like I did with the shallot, I'm chopping my pepper into tiny little pieces and add it to the rest. With the aubergines, they're cooking nicely, but I've actually turned the temperature down just a smidgen to number 5 as though they're getting a little bit too brown, but they're cooking nicely. Let's have a look at this one. Yep, they're going well. And I'll put my peppers, onion and garlic on the hob. My vegetables have been sizzling for a good couple of minutes, and that's when I can add 300 milliliters of passata, followed by a pinch of salt and some pepper to taste. So my sauce is beginning to boil. I'll add a little basil, I'll mix it in, and I'll place the lid on, and I'll lower the temperature to medium-low, number 4, and I'll leave it to simmer for about 10 minutes. And some of my aubergines are done, so I'll start removing them, and you can see that they're done because they're lovely and brown, but also they are quite translucent. Also, as I've sliced them thinner than normal, I want to make sure that I do not burn them, so I will remove them as soon as they're done. So that's my last one, which is also done. And I can start with the zucchini next, which I've also sliced approximately half a centimeter, just like the aubergine. And just like the aubergines, I didn't add any oil or any salt, I just placed them on the griddle. In the meantime, I'll work on my marinade. So these are a couple of small cloves of garlic, or a medium size if you like, and I'll squash them beside my aubergines. Olive oil, quantity to taste, but I will be fairly generous, most probably a couple of tablespoons, and a little bit more pepper, and a generous handful of parsley. And just like the aubergines, the zucchini are also ready. They've become translucent, so they're ready, and I will add them in. With hindsight, as I'm mixing them all together now, I could have done with actually using a larger bowl, but I think it'll be fine. Just mix them all together and ensure that the marinade covers everything. And that is wonderful. The zucchini are still really hot, and in contact with the parsley and the garlic, they're releasing the most amazing smell. It's wonderful. You can eat these as they are, by the way. Anyway, I'll leave them to rest for a few minutes and I'll have a look at the sauce. And here it is. It's done as well. Let's have a look. Oh, it smells also very nice. And now that my sauce is cooked, I'm adding a little bit more fresh basil as well. And I'll place the lid on and I'll leave it for a couple of minutes so that the fresh basil releases all the lovely flavor. Cheese-wise, I'm going to be using some Parmesan cheese, a little mozzarella ball and some cheddar. But I'll make a start by slicing the mozzarella first. And I'll do a similar job with my cheese slicer with the cheddar. Having dish, I'll start with a little base of tomato sauce at the bottom, followed by a mixture of courgettes and aubergines, a little bit more sauce on top, a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese and some cheddar. And I started again, but I'm trying to actually locate where I've placed the aubergine and the courgettes before, so that I'll put the opposite vegetable on top. So if I've got a courgette here, for example, I'll put an aubergine here, and vice versa. And I'll carry on until I run out of ingredients. And I'm now at the final layer, and I've got all of this lovely olive oil marinated with garlic and parsley, and I'm going to be adding that on top of my aubergines and courgettes. Another sprinkle of Parmesan cheese before I put my sauce on, and a little bit more cheddar. And I'll go ahead now and pour all of the rest of my sauce on the very, very top. And it looks and smells absolutely wonderful. One last sprinkle of Parmesan, and I'll complete my very top layer with my sliced mozzarella. including any cheese which I've got left over my board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not slicing some plum tomatoes, but also cherry tomatoes would be good in half, 8 pieces. And this is really cosmetic. I'm actually putting them on top of each piece of mozzarella. One last sprinkle of olive oil on top of my tomatoes and mozzarella. And this delicious as it is, most you could eat it really, but I pop it in the oven for 20 minutes, 180 degrees, and that should be enough. Mine is a fan assisted one. If you've got a conventional oven, up it by 20 degrees to 200. So I assume about 25. And there it is, it's ready. I have actually left it in the oven for a further 10 minutes.
Lovely.
2 reasons. It wasn't as crusty and golden as I wanted to, and it was also a little bit watery, but it would have been okay to eat it after 20 minutes, but I wanted to leave it a little bit longer, so 30 minutes in my case. So I will leave now. I've got to break some news to Julie, who's just arrived, by the way.
No, we haven't got to wait a long while, have we?
Yes, I'm going to leave it for 15 minutes.
Good Lord.
Because I want it to really set, so that then I can cut it and hopefully it will come out in one piece. So I'll see you then. And 15 minutes have passed. Ideally, I'd like to leave it for longer, but I don't think Julie will wait.
No, no.
Anyway, the sides are free. Reason why I want to leave it for longer is because the likelihood is that it will set even more, but it'll be fine. I think it's going to be fairly liquidy. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I have never made this dish before. It's a little bit of a creation, but it should be fine. I'm not cutting it into quarters, but maybe I'm kidding myself.
No,
thinking
I
that
only
one
want a
would be
quarter,
nice.
thank you.
Yeah,
Have you got some bread though to mop it up?
Not yet.
Oh, I'll organise that next. Parmigiana has to have bread to mop it up. It's a bit of a struggle, isn't it?
Well, I'm trying to actually cut it completely so that it
You can
comes out
serve it in
quarters.
nice neat quarters,
Yes.
but maybe not.
Time to try and lift it now. I like doing jobs like this using 2 spatulas, by the way. I think it's considerably easier and neater.
Fingers
Although
crossed.
it might not work with this one. There we go. That's not too bad actually.
Not too bad at all. No, it looks lovely.
As I've got this lovely sauce, I might just as well take advantage and use a spoon and put it all over it. And if you want it to look very, very pretty, you can always put some basil on the top. Yesterday I cooked some salmon in a roll with courgettes actually, and I did say that it was going to set overnight and it would have been considerably firmer. Just to prove that, because that is exactly what's going to happen to my Parmigiana tomorrow. I'm going to show you what my salmon roll looks like today. So this is what was left from last night's dinner, and look, it's nice and firm, and you can see the salmon. And I'm going to slice it, and actually it's incredibly easy now.
Are we going to half that? Are we going to have a piece each?
Yes, so we can have that with our Parmigiana.
Oh, right. I thought we were having a mouthful now.
But I'll just try a little to see what it's like cold. Really good. It was wonderful yesterday, but I prefer food like this the day after, and tomorrow the Parmigiana will be even tastier, but I'll test it now to see what it's like. I'm trying to get hold of a piece where there is both aubergine and courgette. I think I've got it here. Still a little bit hot, so I need to be careful. It's nothing like a traditional Parmigiana. I did say I was going to give you some feedback. It's totally different actually, because the garlic in the mix that I've added has altered the taste, but it's wonderful. It's a mixture of herbs and basil and parsley, but also the garlic and it's a really, really nice combo. I'm surprised how wonderful it tastes. Nothing like a Parmigiana. I will call it a Parmigiana for easiness, but delicious. Fully recommended. Try and let me know how you get on. Honestly, I'm not joking. Parmigiana is wonderful. This is wonderful in a different way. Arrivederci, grazie for watching, and buon appetito. Ciao.